Yeah, there you go. Kissed Ya. Greg Sayer, the Everly Brothers, a 1959 hit. Gary J. Russen with you. Gary J. Russen program here on GJRB Online. Coming up is our last 45 minutes here. And, of course, like I said, coming up 5 more minutes left to go in our GJRB in our show here, the Gary Russen program. 15 minutes of nonstop talk and music. And we're going to be closing it out with Weather on the Fives and another break here. And basically that. And getting ready for the final segment of our program as we close out the show today here on GJRB Online. And Gary J. Russen, thanks a lot for tuning into the program, and hope you're enjoying it wherever you're listening across this fine land of ours. Got a lot of really neat stuff to end the show with. So I thought we'll just get into that. We'll have the segments I mentioned earlier to close out, and we're going to do that. But right now I thought maybe we'd just talk about what's coming up on GJRB Online this week. So I'm going to throw that into the mix here. Let's see if I can make this active again. Sometimes I get stuck, so I usually kind of get out of the studio and then go back in. Okay, this way. Sometimes the studio console gets stuck when I'm on the other one. So, okay, so I'm going to go back in and pull that up, what I call This Week on GJRB Online. So I'm going to throw that in. And while I'm doing that, I thought I'd remind you that we got that coming up, plus Cold Jazz, which is our new theme to what's on Spreaker, and all that here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Russen, and I'm going to pull up my calendar here and give you what's coming up this week on GJRB. So let's do that right now. This week on GJRB. And coming up this week on GJRB Online, like tomorrow, Crooners is on the air. Got a great show lined up. Another crooner. We're going to feature some of his music, and that is Matt Monroe. So tune in tomorrow for that. Crooners at noon, and an encore presentation of radio, television, and movie classics from August 17th. And then we're going to take a break. We might be on the air on Saturday with a show. My wife and I are planning on a show together, so you want to tune in for that. And then on the 15th, Good Times, Great Oldies show, right here on GJRB. And I hope you'll join us for that broadcast. That'll be on the air, and it's going to be another great show. I do a lot of really good oldies, 50s, 60s, 70s rock and roll, and Gary J's Good Times, Great Oldies show. So that's coming up. That'll be on the 15th. First, let's see. I want to check something real quick. The 22nd, I had scheduled Even Day programming. That's a local one, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to push that down a week. But on the 22nd, we will not be on the air. The 22nd, I got to go to Iowa City, so there will be no radio on October 22nd. Okay, but on the 23rd, Rockin' 80s. We're going to have all 80s in the afternoon. You're going to enjoy that. Rockin' 80s. I'll open up request line for that. Have all your favorites from the 80s on that day. And then on the 25th is Radio Land Time Warp. Now, that's not going to be live. Okay, that's not going to be live. I'm going to be recording that as a podcast and then publishing it to go up on the evening of Thursday, October 25th. It'll be published at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and it'll feature the programming on radio, CBS Radio, January 1947. Okay, and then on the 26th, that's a Friday, we're going to be on live with Swing Time. And that's going to be a brand new show. Swing Time is a brand new show. It's live. I take requests and featuring the music of Stan Kenton. So I hope you'll tune in for that. And then on the 20th, Saturday, the 20th of October, I'm going to have Bluegrass Jubilee. The following week on the 27th, the Blues House returns. The first show, now the first Blues House we did we did on Memorial Day weekend back in May. And I think we got some pretty good hits on that program. So it's going to become regularly, and I'm going to pick a time slot for it. I already picked one. Usually the last Saturday of the month, and is a blues show. Gary J's Blues House, or the Blues House. And that's going to be on the air regularly the last Saturday of the month, but it's going to play in rotation on an even day toward the end of the month. Probably be where we're going to have a couple of even days at the end of the month where we're going to feature that program. And I'll have some of those. So some even days between the 22nd of the month and the end of the month. We're going to do any of those even days will be a Blues House in rotation with some other shows. So spontaneous broadcasting, you never know when we're going to be on the air, and I might have more blues shows in addition to that. So tune in here to GJRB. You never know what kind of program we got here. We got some good stuff, I got to tell you. Got some real good stuff. Weather on the fives, we'll do that at 4:35. That's it for our 50 minutes of nonstop talk and music. And I'm going to take a break here briefly and then come back with more great talk here as we wrap up the Gary Russen program for today here on GJRB Online. And we'll throw some more tunes in before we close out. And I will give you the what's going to be on Spreaker. And what our Spreaker followers have on the air. Now, God, I think I missed your show. Were you on live Tuesday night? I'm not sure. I think he left. I'm not sure if he's even on. I want to check and see if he's even listening. But if he does listen to his podcast afterward, leave me a message. Were you on Tuesday Night Live? I missed you if you were. I'll have to check and see if you have a podcast up. I'll have to do that way. Anyhow, let's see. I want to take a break, and then I'll be right back. I got more coming up next. You are listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world, and wherever you find GJRB, just go into Spreaker, www.spreaker.com, and type in GJRB Online in the search engine. It'll take you right to our station. Right with the logo and everything. You see that neat little logo I made. I'm going to probably fix it. And I'll have a new one up. But when you see that, that's us, GJRB Online. And got some great programming here. So it's like radio used to be. Personality radio, kind of. And has some really good stuff. So stay tuned. Be right back. More of the Gary Russen program coming your way in just moments. Stay right here. Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Just a minute. Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's MEWE. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site. You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, smooth jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming. And programming in other great music formats. Like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. Strange things in the sky and around the world. Strange beings sighted. What's going on? All around us, conspiracy theories are being discussed. This is the show all about the strange things that are way out there. I'm Gary Russen. This Way Out There's back with more weird stories of the strange and the bizarre. Keep looking up in the sky and let me know what you see. Way out there. Every third Friday at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB. Coast to coast and way out there, fans. Listen up. If you like UFO conspiracies, ghosts, and the paranormal, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Spreaker's answer to Coast AM with more interesting guest experts in the paranormal and UFOs each month. If you like Way Out There, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Own the night with Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Nightly at 11 p.m. Central, 12 o'clock midnight Eastern, and 9 p.m. Pacific. On Spreaker, on Periscope, and on D-Talk Radio Network.
The checkbook says we don't have enough money to go out for dinner tonight.
I knew it. I knew we shouldn't have given that check to the church, but did you listen to me? No.
It's easy to trust God when things are going well.
Now, dear, we put God first. Let's have faith He'll meet our needs.
No, we can't afford to be giving away our hard-earned money. When we have enough, then we'll give.
God said that anyone who does not trust Him will be like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind.
Oh, look. We got a rebate on the tires we bought.
See?
What?
See what happens when you put your faith in God?
Oh, wait a minute. We're still short. I forgot about the water bill.
I knew it. I knew it. We never have enough.
Without faith in God, the Bible says we will be unstable in all we do.
Oh, I subtracted wrong. We're okay.
See? Just have a little faith and everything will work out fine.
Your stability is so inspiring, dear.
Are you trusting God? Another message from Lifeline Productions, the comic strip of radio, at lifelinepro.com.
This is your captain speaking. We've encountered some difficulties with our landing gear and will have to perform an emergency landing. Please assume the crash position.
The crash position? I wasn't watching! Where's the stewardess? Will somebody tell me the crash position?
Hey, sit down!
Oh, Lord, I don't want to die. I'll give you 50% of my pay. I'll go to church every Sunday, except maybe Super Bowl Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, the emergency vehicles are on the runway and prepared for any catastrophe.
Okay, Super Bowl Sunday!
This is your captain speaking. We have successfully lowered the nose gear.
That's right, God. 20% of my pay. I'll go to church every Sunday. We'll negotiate football season. Just get me home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully lowered all landing gear. Sorry for the inconvenience.
What do you need all that money for, God? I only get 2 days off a week.
Are you God's servant every day, or only when you need Him? Another message from Lifeline Productions, the comic strip of radio, at lifelinepro.com.
And we're back on the air here on GJRB Online as we get to the end of the Gary Russen program today with about 25 some odd minutes left to go of our program for today. So we're going to wrap it up with a conversational sports page and a few other little ditties here before we close out today. Here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. My wife sent me something, so I'm going to go to that page now. Let's see what we got here. Oh, lovely. Mother Nature's jumper cables. Okay. Yeah, because I like that one. I'm going to have to send that one even over to Mike. He might like that one. Mike Myers might definitely like that one. Coffee, Mother Nature's jumper cables. Yeah. Yeah. And it's got hooked up to it's a Garfield. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's good. Mother Nature's jumper cables. Yeah. That's it. Gotta be hooked up. Gotta be connected. Huh? Yeah. Gotta be hooked up, gotta be connected. Lovely. Oh, fabulous. Anyway, we're as we wrap up the Gary Russen program for today here on GJRB Online, we're just kind of doing some wrap-up stuff. Some of the closing comments and different things that we do here on our semi-freestyle show, or as I say, freestyle or whatever. Just having fun here. We're doing a scroll through social media, so we're going to kind of throw that around a little bit. I was going to go into my Twitter. I didn't get to that yet. So we're going to do a conversational sports page so we can do that and avoid all the rest of the features that we would stop us from doing what we want to do here. So I'm going to go to Yahoo and go to my sports section because it's time for the sports page. And so we're just going to do conversational sports page, in which I just don't rapid fire do like I usually do when I do my sports page updates. It's basically just going to be a sports page segment, and we'll be bringing back sports page. I've got a couple of sports page scheduled on the GJRB site, so I'll be getting into that here. Let's see, when do I do it? I got a sports page slated for the 16th. As a matter of fact, 2 to 5 p.m. on GJRB Online, the 16th, Gary J's sports page. And because I haven't had one on for a while, mainly because I've been having it on Saturdays, and Saturdays has been Iowa Hawkeyes, and I like to watch the Hawkeyes, and and I carry that on my 9-foot signal through our partner station KROS, and I decided, well, why don't I do it this way? Why don't I just have it on a weekday where there's no games to, in a way, the Cubs are over with, so we'll have more time to do sports page. That is definite. So I think it'll be a lot more easier to plan things out and be able to do a sports page on more often. So we'll be doing that. But right now it is time for the sports page. Oh, wait, that's not it. Where's that sports page? Should be here. Oh, here it is. Here, wrong one. There we go.
A GJRB sports page update starts now.
Whoops! Okay. Take a look at some of the sports and some of the games going on. First of all, postseason action. 7:20 tonight. Philadelphia plays New England. That's football, actually. Football. That's our Thursday night football action. Philadelphia Eagles are going to play the New York Giants tonight. And let's see, let's see, I think this is this baseball? What is this? Detroit, Toronto versus Detroit. I want to go to the MLB. No, that's not it. No, MLB. Don't do that. Okay, MLB. Here we go. No, that's NBA. It's not what I want. Okay, go back. It's time for our conversational sports page. But I'm going to the wrong places. Okay, I want the Major League Baseball, because that's what we're interested in right now. The action going on right now, and things are going to be happening right now. 7:09 p.m. tonight, the LA Dodgers are going to play Milwaukee in the NLDS. So that's happening. The Cubs are out of it, but Milwaukee is playing tonight. So that's going to be an interesting game. What's this? Okay. Well, the wild card, we knew what happened there. The division, New York Yankees against Boston, Cleveland against Houston, Colorado playing Milwaukee, and then we got the Atlanta playing the Dodgers. And then the final league championship series is going to consist of either Houston against Boston or the LA Dodgers against Milwaukee. The winners of those games, I think, go into the World Series. So we still have some playoffs going on. Again, New York Yankees against Boston, Cleveland against Houston. Colorado will play Milwaukee, and Atlanta playing the Dodgers. So no game scheduled today. I guess that I'm confused. Okay. All right, so we're going to kind of let that go. I don't know. I'm going to check that first. According to this, there's a game tonight against it'll be the Dodgers in the First National League West. They got Kershaw playing. He's 10-5 up against Milwaukee's Gonzalez. He's 10-11, and that'll be tomorrow night, October 12th, 7:09 p.m. Not tonight. Tomorrow night. There's no game tonight being played. This is tomorrow night. The Dodgers will play Milwaukee, and that's coming up. Just to let you know about that. Meanwhile, let's see. Some of the other games. Let's see. Four-time Olympian Lindsey Vonn says that Lindsey Vonn says it's official Thursday that the upcoming 2018-2019 season will be her final one. Even if she does break the record for the most World Cup victories. Vonn, who's now had 82 wins on the circuit, 4 short in Ingmar Stenmark, initially intended to retire after the season as long as she sets the record. She announced the change of heart in speaking event for a chase in Manhattan, according to NBC Sports. She's saying, quote, if I get, let's see here, okay.
Well, there's no Winter Olympics next year, but Lindsey Vonn isn't taking a break. Now she's partnering with Chase on a small business.
I'm going to turn that off. In fact, I can't turn out that audio when it comes up. I should do that right away so I can read it. Anyway, quote, if I get the record, that would be a dream come true. If I don't, I think if I had an incredibly successful career, no matter what, and I'm still an all-time winningest female skier. That's what she said. Ingmar Stenmark, a male slalom, giant slalom skier from Sweden, raced from 1976 to 1988. And let's see, what other sports do we have here? Tonight, Thursday Night Football, the Giants are going to be playing, like I said, Philadelphia playing the Giants tonight in Thursday Night Football. So that's on a MLB network. And pretty much that's it for sports. I don't see anything really all that big in the sports world. So we're going to close that out. And we're going to wrap up this program by doing the segment. And I want to get that ready here while we got that. I'm going to go to my page here and pull up that track out of my jazz playlist. Let's see, we got that here. Out of my cool jazz playlist. Pull that up, I believe it's in heavy. No, it isn't. It's here. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, because it's time now. I'm going to get that set up. Got to go into my Spreaker public site and go to my home page. Okay. And first off, let's see who's been listening to me. So far, we know that the Caramel Conservative has. Going down the page here, I was trying to see who else was listening to the show. Had a bunch of them. Thank you so much for listening today. Always enjoy getting, yeah. And Delgado listening to the first three parts of our show. So he's not here right now, I guess. Debbie Scott, let's see what we got tonight for her. What's we got here? Okay, 1010. That was yesterday. So I guess they were on the air yesterday, even despite the storm. So why don't I go to the schedule, because it is time now to do that. It's time now to do that. It's time to see what's on Spreaker. Yeah, let's do that right now. Yeah, what's on Spreaker tonight? See what we got going on. All right, starting off at 6 o'clock p.m., New West Radio Theater, American Liberty Radio. That ought to be something to listen to. At 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock p.m., Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott at 11 o'clock. Should try to get his guest lineup so we add to that. It's always a good program, though. Dave Scott from British Columbia, up around Canada there. Live program. Talking about the strange and the bizarre. Strange stuff. Spaced Out Radio tonight, 11 o'clock Central Time. Midnight East, 9 o'clock Pacific. Tomorrow, starting at 2 a.m. in the morning, the Ace Show. The Gyps Zone. We have the Grand Haven Classic Rock. GHTR, always good. Check them out. That's a great way to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then if you wake up in the early morning hours on a weekday morning, 8 o'clock, Muck Radio. Good friend Mike Myers. Inspirational programming. I know you love to listen to that. He always has something interesting to say. He always has some inspirational message to bring out to you, and the love of God. Radio Hope Network, Muck Radio, Mike Myers. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Central Time. Back to his original time slot. 6 o'clock in the Pacific and 9 o'clock Eastern. 11 a.m. Ways S. Pierce Podcast. American Liberty Radio. TJWS Radio Network. And then, let's see, New World Radio Theater. And, of course, tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Time, starting at 12 o'clock noon Central, ALRN Podcast, the American Liberty Radio Network, on opposite us, as we do Crooners live tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon Central, followed by Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. And, of course, again, the New West Radio Theater at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And then again, tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. And that's what's on Spreaker. And I'm Gary J. Russen. And we always bring you the programs that are always on Spreaker. And, of course, some of the great ones that I want to promote, they have live shows. And if you missed them, you can catch them later on as a on-demand podcast. And that is my good friend, the Caramel Conservative Ed Delgado. I don't know, was he on yesterday? I'm going to check his, I need to go into followers and see if I can find his program. Let's see if he was on yesterday. Yeah, sure enough he was. That's episode 45. Because 44 was on for a while. And no, that was 16 days ago. If so, when? So maybe not. And if you're listening, when are you going to have a live broadcast again? You haven't been on. You must still be building your studio. That could be it too. Because I know you are building a studio, and so you're working on that. So if he's listening later on, and if he listens to the podcast of this final part, I ask him, how his studio's coming along. Should have asked him that when he was on live. Darn. Anyway, he has a great show. When he gets his studio finished, he'll be back on, I'm sure. 8:30 p.m. Tuesday nights, right here on Spreaker. 8:30 p.m. Tuesday nights, 9:30 East, 6:30 Pacific, for the Caramel Conservative radio program. So you want to listen to that. It's always fabulous. He always has interesting things to talk about. And, of course, every night at 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock East, from out of Florida. Great music, great jamming, great stuff. Debbie Scott Radio Network always has great music on. They jam. They play some good stuff. You can even request. They have a request line, so you can just request a song in the chat room. Always fun. Debbie Scott Radio Network, I think the past couple of nights, because they're down in Florida, I hope they're doing okay. Maybe they're not on the air because they probably had that storm hit them. I don't know. I hope they're okay. I'm going to have to leave a message on their site. I hope they're doing okay and they can get back on the air. The Debbie Scott Radio Network, I think they were in that part of Florida that did get hit by that hurricane, so they might have got knocked off the air for a while. So we'll just have to see. Always plays good music, so tune in to the Debbie Scott Radio Network. That is 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time. And those are some of the programs on Spreaker from our followers. And, of course, I don't know. Another one would be Blake Myers. I don't know. He hasn't been doing any podcasts lately. Need to get a hold of him. Wonder what he's been doing. He has a pretty good show at 12 o'clock noon Central. Plays a lot of variety of music. And his schedule's been interesting to me, how he does it. And then a few other people that I will, as I later friend them, let them know that I promote their program here on Spreaker. And if you're a Spreaker follower or listen to this program or listen to this podcast and would like to have your show promoted, tell me what that is, and I will listen to it and I will put it on the program listing for what's on Spreaker. So you can tune in. That's simple, right? Yeah, you better believe it. Okay, well, we're getting close to the end of the Gary Russen program for today here on GJRB Online. And it's going to be closing out here in just about a few minutes. But to remind you that coming up, we'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock at the 12 o'clock noon Central Time, 1 o'clock East, and 10 a.m. in the Pacific for Crooners. Got a great show lined up. Got some music from Matt Monroe. We got Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. Got some good songs from them. Tony Bennett. And some good stuff tomorrow. So you're going to want to tune in for a couple hours of great crooners. 12 o'clock noon Central right here on GJRB Online, followed by an encore presentation of radio, television, and movie classics from August 17th. As I'll be working on a brand new episode of that program, which I'm working on. So I'll let you know when that's going to air. I'll have that on the schedule for the next time Radio, Television, Movie Classics comes around on the schedule, and we'll have that on the air. So I'm working on that program. I have to finish it halfway through, so I have to get the rest of my segments in for that program and get that finalized so it's ready to go on the air on the next scheduled day of Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. And we'll have another good show. And, of course, we kind of doing it like for the past couple of times I did both programs back-to-back live, which I guess is okay, but what happens is 5 hours on the air. I mean, I can do it. I've done it. But I kind of split it where whenever Radio, Television, Movie Classics is a rerun, I'll do Crooners live. And if Radio, Television, Movie Classics is live, then I will voice track Crooners. So either way, I have those airing, or I'll rebroadcast a previous Crooners and then do Radio, Television, and Movie Classics live. But I do jump in live when it comes to the Weather on the Fives. So I'll do Weather on the Fives live, or I'll pre-record it to make it sound like it's live. So whatever I do, one will be recorded, one will be live, vice versa on those days, because I don't know if I'm going to be doing doing that live all the time like that, 5 hours. I probably could, and I probably will from time to time, but not always for that particular case. Because it's kind of hard to do that when I have a lot of other stuff I could be doing, like cleaning house and stuff. I don't know. Trying to get shows together, trying to get programs set up, trying to work on the next program. So I'm always busy prepping. So sometimes I can't always do a full straight 5-hour program. Just next to impossible. I didn't get to Twitter, so Twitter doesn't really always have anything in our scroll through social media. So I'm going to kind of say that's it for that. And I didn't do Google Plus or anything like that. But by the way, if you want to see our program schedule, follow me on Google Plus, Gary John Russen. So get on Google Plus, or if you are a follower of me, or follow me on Pinterest, I will refer you to that over there too. So just get on the Google Calendar. That's just follow me on Google Plus. Gary Russen, Google Plus, and you'll see the calendar of our program schedule there too. But I will be doing a video soon on the new Odd Even radio schedule, so that you have an idea what we're doing and when here on GJRB Online. So you're better prepared for this stuff. Try to make it easier on you. That's the whole idea. Anyway, while I got that all planned out, I'm going to wrap it up here in just about 6 minutes or so. So we're going to stay on maybe 6 minutes longer. So about 6:06 we'll go off the air and our 9-foot signal. So I'm going to be getting ready for other stuff coming up. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thanks a lot for tuning in at 6:06. 5:06. What am I thinking? See, my mind is still 3 to 6 p.m. I'm telling you, 6:06 Eastern maybe, but 5:06 in the Central Time Zone. Anyway, we'll stay on an extra 6 minutes because my tablet's not working right anyway, and I can't bring in the local news, the Fox News on my 9-foot signal. So I'm going to stay on 6 minutes longer, or 5 minutes, at least 5 more minutes longer, and then close out. So I'm going to stay on additional 5 more minutes, and then we'll finish off the program. But just to let you know about that. On the next, so tune in for that. And then, of course, the Gary Russen program, like I told you before, I'm working on a best of show and a video version of this program. I'm working on that one. And I'll be back with another Gary Russen program soon. Tomorrow, Crooners, and then something that me and Lori are planning on doing on Saturday. Don't know exactly what that is at this point. I will post on my Facebook page, Twitter, Google+, all my social sites, and here on Spreaker if we're going to be doing anything on Saturday. Okay, I'll let you know about that. So you can plan that out and so you can listen to us. So we're going to try something Saturday. Don't know what the program will be called at this time. I'm just going to see what we can do with it, and see what we can pan out, work with. So you never know. It's going to be kind of fun to see what I can do there, and maybe perhaps come up with an idea for a program that way. I think it would be kind of fun to see what we could do with this. So it's coming up, and I have a lot of other ideas for programs here on GGRB Online for future things with my wife if this works out, and we get some numbers, and I put it on the rotated schedule. But all the programs will have a title with a 000 after it. That means it's a brand new program, possibility of a potential new program. So we're going to see what we can do with this. Yeah, you never know. Might come out to be something really fun. So we're going to see what we can do with this on Saturday. Let's see. What was I going to do next? Oh, yeah, finish the show. Let's see. I'm getting all messed up now. That's going to do it for the Gary Russen program. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you had a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And stay tuned now for whatever comes up on Spreaker. I don't know. If you want to listen to the show from the very beginning, just wait till it's we go off the air, refresh the page, and you can listen to the first part on the podcast. Just hit that play on the first part, and you can hear it from the beginning. Sounds cool, huh? You better believe it. That's going to do it for the Gary Russen program. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for Crooners at 12 o'clock noon Central. Until then, have your best rest of your night. So long, everyone. Wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org with a lot of chaos happening. Keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB.